It means a lot. It means a lot to Officer Sprague's family, and it means a lot to his brothers and sisters in blue as well. Thank you for being here today to support this. As you know, Officer Jason Sprague came to the Texarkana, Texas Police Department in January of 2012. He came to us from Pine Bluff Police Department, where he had been an officer for many years. So he came to our police department with a lot of training and was an excellent patrol officer. One of the things I remember about Officer Sprague is how quickly he became a part of our family. And of course, if you know anything about law enforcement is called the thin blue line because we are united in our mission, in our commitment to service. And so when he came to our department, he fit right in. And the fact that he was a practical joker and a comedian didn't hurt anything either. I remember that whenever the event happened that took Officer Sprague's life, that was on June the 15th of 2013. The actual event happened on June the 13th, and he succumbed to his injuries on June the 15th of 2013. I can remember thinking to myself, man, it seemed like he had been here forever. But when you look back and you saw that he had only been here just a little over a year, it was amazing that the impact that Officer Sprague had on this department and this community in just the months that he was here. I cannot imagine all the things that he would have accomplished and the good that he would have done for this city had he not had his life taken during that awful evening. This bridge is going to be a bridge into the future for Texarkana. As you know, all of Texarkana is growing in this direction. We have a huge hospital that's being built just a few blocks from here, another hospital that's going up just a couple more blocks from here, and this is going to be a major thoroughfare. And because of that, I had asked the council a while back if we could dedicate this bridge to the memory of Officer Jason Sprague, because I knew that it would be a highly visible memorial. And memorials are placed for great events, to remember things of greatness. And that's what we're doing here today.
As mayor of our great city, there are some things that are always in the back of my mind. One such thing is the safety of all of our city employees as they conduct their jobs serving our citizens. Today, as we gather here, the focus relates to safety of our police officers. I will never forget that day back in 2013. Jackie and I were living at our former residence on DeSoto Circle. Back then, landline phones in homes were common. Around 3 a.m., the phone rang at our home. I was sound asleep. I did not hear it ringing, but Jackie heard the phone ringing and got up to answer it. She carried the cordless telephone toward our bedroom, talking to someone, which awakened me. She reached out to hand the phone to me and said, "It's John Whitson." John Whitson was the city manager at that time. I knew John Whitson would not be calling me at 3 a.m. to ask me how I was doing. I knew it had to be something very serious, and it was. I answered the phone. Mr. Whitson said he needed to share some information with me relating to one of our police officers. He briefed me on the matter, and I shared with him I would be at the hospital later that morning at 7 a.m. I went to the hospital later that morning to check on Officer Sprague and his family. I recall the tremendous outpouring of support from other local law enforcement agencies who were gathered at the hospital surrounding the Sprague family. Officer Sprague succumbed to his injuries on June 15, 2013, a date that I will never forget. I also recall the tremendous outpouring of support from the community and local, county, and state law enforcement officers from local states as well as neighboring states at the funeral service that was held at First Baptist Church. Officer Sprague will be remembered as a hero. He was doing his job at the time he was injured, and he is remembered as being courageous and willing to go into battle to serve and protect. I have the utmost respect for the men and women of TTPD. If I'm stopped at a traffic light and one of our officers is involved in a traffic stop, I am locked in on what they are doing. and I would not hesitate to take action to assist them if their safety was in danger. As I have said many times, I feel we have one of the best police departments in the country. I think the dedication of this bridge in the memory of Officer Sprague is very fitting and will allow citizens both now and in the future to recall the dedicated service of one of Texarkana's finest.